Diversity or tomfoolery? The strange landscape of diversity continues its buckled march into and through society, facilitated by illogical people who appear somewhat brainwashed, or that we have, in fact, been taken over by invasion of the body snatchers already. But other than the ridiculous ideas of quotas based on fairness, inclusion, and equality based on sex and skin colour, it seems a rather dangerous angle emerges, as many thought would when you put someone in a job or a position of power who isn't capable. And there are many reasons for not being capable in a certain field, and it's not always one that a simple bit of training can overcome. And there is the other thing that doesn't seem to get discussed much, of people not actually wanting those roles. For example, years ago now they started harping on about not enough women CEOs in large corporations, trying to say they were sexist. And indeed, there is an air of sexism to certain industries, and the structural hierarchy. Most of them, in fact. But I also looked at the whole picture. Of all the women I had ever worked with or met, how many even wanted to be a CEO? Or upper management at any level? It was made quite clear to women years ago, if you go for career, your family suffers. If you can get that far, because having a family sort of goes against you as a female. Thinking you'll need time off for maternity, for the kids, won't be focused, etc. However, for men, it seems to work the other way round. As if you are a man with a family and a mortgage, you are easier to control perhaps, to tie into their corporate fold, knowing you really do rely on that pay packet more than a single man might. So, exclusions and ideals of lifestyle have always played a part to a point, on both sides. And one could argue that all of that is put in place by men, so women have felt a need to stay out of it as much as possible, because you are in a no-win situation. And within that, now they are making it even harder to get a fair shot based on skill and ability, after touting that as the only route to success or recognition in your field. Back in the day it was more who you know, not what you know. And people can't deny that many have been kept out of certain industries and positions due to their sex or ethnicity. Now it's more what you look like rather than anything else, as though everything is meant to be shallow and based on appearances only, including complex and important roles that can have grave consequence, as if your external shell represents everything about you to be worn as an outfit. How disheartening for people who have worked hard to try and make something of themselves, to see others fast-track because they happen to be the pawn of the month. Imagine if someone putting on a doctor's uniform suddenly allowed them to perform surgery, or putting on a pilot uniform meant you could now attempt to fly the plane, and people would be called ignorant or accused of hatred if they tried to say anything. Blind pilots is the next weird thing being joked about today, and it may sound like a joke, but with quotas of disability taking the helm this week, it seems to have actually been discussed. Terrifying, but not unusual for where we are at, setting everyone up to fail, and exploiting people's vulnerabilities and psychological desires, to be played out in a very public arena to achieve that.